Today, we wax poetic. That's right, Colorado's Poet Laureate is here to share how poetry develops stronger voices for young people and how you can get involved in self-expression through writing. Airports don't look like the most fun place right now, so maybe it's time to hit the road because it's the summer of the RV. It's me, Mario. I can't do that very well. Another day of a Super Mario giveaway. Watch for your cue to enter to win. Colorado & Company starts when? Oh yeah, right now.
Portions of Colorado & Company contain paid content.
Gonna get you through the day. Good friends.
Welcome to the show. We have a little bit of everything for you today. We have poetry, we have travel, we have a cool movie giveaway. So let's start things off with a healthy Colorado conversation. We all have a friend who has passed a kidney stone, and the way they tell it, it is horrifically painful and terrifying. So I'd want to get some things straight about prevention and care from Dr. Brenton Winship. First off, what a name. Wow. He's a urologist and urologic surgeon with Common Spirit Health. Hello. With a name like that, you had to be a doctor.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. I love this guy. Okay. How common are kidney stones?
So kidney stones are very common. The incidence is around 1 in 10 persons per year.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
So very common, something that a lot of people experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there calcified stones? That's what they are?
Several different types of kidney stones, but
Yeah.
the most common type are calcium-based kidney stones.
Are you impressed that I knew that?
Of course.
He wasn't. Okay, what are the risk factors? So who's more likely, men, women? Talk to me.
So men are at a higher risk for developing kidney stones, but in the last 10 years or so, women are coming up to basically be even with men.
Really?
We've seen the incidence increasing in women and staying relatively stable in men.
Interesting.
Anybody over the age of 50 has a higher risk for developing a kidney stone. And otherwise, it can depend a bit on where you live. So,
Really?
yeah, if you've ever heard of the Stone Belt, it sort of refers to the southern portion of the United States. So obviously there's a bit of a correlation between sort of higher temperatures probably correlates with dehydration.
I see. That makes sense.
And then there are some risk factors that go along with things like diabetes, increasing your risk for developing a kidney stone as well.
Okay. Okay. Let's say, how do you diagnose a kidney stone? Usually it's when someone's like, I'm gonna die, I'm in so much pain. But is it a CAT scan? What is it, an ultrasound? I'm trying to sound like a doctor.
Yeah, so several different ways that, if you come to see your doctor, you come to see us, you come into the emergency room and you're having pain in the back, and if your doc suspects a kidney stone, they have a couple choices in terms of what to order. The most definitive thing is to get a CAT scan.
Yeah.
Those are 99% sensitive for all kidney stones. They're going to tell us exactly how big it is, where it is, that sort of thing. But a lot of times you can pick them up on ultrasound, or at least you can find the evidence that there's a stone on ultrasound. And you can often see them on just a plain X-ray as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
Especially
depending on
if
what your symptoms are and sort of what your doctor has at their fingertips, any of those can be used to diagnose the stone.
My mom used to get them. She had a calcium issue, and she'd also have like nausea. Is that something? It's not just the back pain. You just feel wretched. Is that right?
Right, yeah, so kidney stones cause pain basically when they act like a cork. They keep urine from passing from your kidney down to your bladder, and that's going to cause your kidney to swell. That's not only painful, but it induces a lot of nausea.
Oh, wow. Okay, good to know. How can we prevent kidney stones? What's the best way to sort of reduce the risk? Is there a spell?
Nothing quite that easy, I'm afraid. The best thing you can do is stay hydrated, right?
Okay.
And the guidelines that are out there recommend that you drink enough fluid such that you're making between 2 and 2.5 liters of urine per 24 hours to prevent kidney stones, which is a heroic amount of fluid.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, so it's not easy for anybody, even myself, somebody who sees a lot of kidney stones and sees their consequences. Most days I'm not keeping up with that, but the recommendation is out there. A lot of people try to avoid calcium in their diet, but that's actually the opposite of what you should do. You want a normal amount of calcium, especially from dietary sources. And trying to increase the amount of citric acid or citrate in things that you're drinking. So lemon juice in your water, even certain sodas like Sprite, 7-Up,
Really?
Fresca, those things have a lot of citrate in them, which can be super helpful. And
To
probably,
prevent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
mhm.
okay.
Probably the hardest thing to do is try to stick with low amount of sodium in your diet.
Okay.
The more salt that you eat, that actually pushes more calcium into the urine, which is how the calcium ends up there
In the first place.
in the first place.
So you're saying just drink a huge amount of Sprite is what you're meaning. I'm just kidding. Okay, so what treatment options are available? My mother had them so large that they would they'd have to break them up. Laser.
Yeah.
So that's all I had.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that we treat kidney stones. If they're small, we can give you some medications and try to help you pass them.
Okay.
As they get larger, there's various things we can do. We still use a lot of lasers in kidney stones.
Okay.
And we can do relatively minimally invasive procedures, so no cuts or anything on the outside to get after those stones and break them up and get them out of there. We still use something called shockwave lithotripsy, which is an ultrasound-based technology that dates back all the way to World War II.
Is that right?
Yeah, we still use that. It's completely non-invasive. Everything happens from the outside with that. And then for really big stones, we'll actually kind of go in through the back. We'll basically poke a hole into your back, into the kidney, and break up the stone and get all the pieces out of there using a device that's a little bit like your Sonicare toothbrush, but on steroids.
Whoa, wow, oh my God. Okay, if you get a kidney stone or kidney stones, are you then prone to get them again?
Yes.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, so just like how I was saying about, 10% of folks are going to experience a kidney stone, it's about 10% per year once you've had a kidney stone
Right.
is your own risk for having another one. So on average, if you have a kidney stone, about every 10 years, you're going to have an issue with a kidney stone.
Oh my gosh, we got to end on something better, but it can be fixed.
So there's a lot that we can do prevention-wise, especially if you're somebody who has a tendency to make stones. We can do some testing, actually sort of requires you to collect all your urine for 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
But it can give us a really good picture of what your personalized risk factors are, why you're making those stones, and we can give you really kind of targeted dietary advice. And if there's medications you should be taking, supplements you should be taking, that sort of thing, and we can really kind of try and get on top of it.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much. It's so fascinating to me. And a lot of men say it's worse than childbirth. I don't think so. You guys discuss between yourselves. Human kindness is what Common Spirit Health is all about. Visit their website, search for hospitals and doctors in your area. Just go to mountain.commonspirit.org. You can also find more information on 9news.com/healthycolorado. This Healthy Colorado segment is sponsored by Common Spirit Health. We're all trying to stretch our budgets further and further, as we know. And next week, my favorite chef, Mary, is amazing. She helps us stay on track because, get this, she shares 4 different meals you can make using just 1 rotisserie chicken. It's unbelievable. And are you looking for a fresh start? Many of us are. I mean, for real. That actually means something to you. I have some great news. Pima Medical Institute is holding a spring open house all this week. You can tour hands-on labs, you can meet students, instructors, you can catch live demos, and even chat with an advisor about your future in healthcare. Pima Medical Institute has locations in Denver and Aurora, so join them for their open house at either location. Again, it's all happening this week through the 27th. Just go to pmi.edu to save your spot. And look, if you're looking for something new, this is a sign. They sponsored today's mention. Still ahead, when things get tough, Team Rubicon gets going. We're talking with one of the leaders making a difference one community at a time.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
So if you're like me, you've wasted a lot of money on skin solutions you found on your social media feeds that do absolutely nothing. We've all done it. But I did get some straight talk from Nick Tverdik about what he believes can work for you in reversing those annoying signs of aging. Take a look. All right, Nick, you've always said that we lose, and I kind of hate you for it. I know it's not your fault. But we lose, it is your fault. We lose collagen pretty quickly after a certain age. What else is happening that creates facial issues? And some people are fine with it and they love it, and some people want to fix it, and either way is fine.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
This is all about your confidence.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And if you want to do things where you don't want to get injections, totally
Cool.
normal, totally natural.
Hip and rad.
That's great. We do injections, but injections should be looked at as the last thing, as kind of the icing on the cake, because we want to build everything up naturally. And yes, all we've really talked about in facial aesthetics is collagen, collagen. Do not get me wrong. We want to address it and we don't ignore that. We have 25 different machines, so we're able to really boost that collagen. However, it's just a fraction of what's happening in natural facial aging. And yes, we lose on average 1% of collagen every year for the rest of our lives, and that's a compounding interest effect, right? After age 22-ish for the rest of our lives. So we don't want to ignore that. However, what we haven't talked about, because we've never been able to do anything about it, is we're also losing up to 8% of our facial muscle tissue every decade after age 30 for the rest of our lives. Now, we have something called SMAS, which is connective tissue, and that kind of wraps your elevator muscles in your face like a sleeping bag. And when your muscles break down, that sleeping bag starts to stretch out. So all your connective tissue, which wants to be nice and right and tight, starts to become lax and starts to stretch out. And that's where M-face comes in. The reason why we haven't talked about it is we've never been able to do anything about it until now.
M-face.
And so much of what really bothers people in facial aging is actually the jowling, the nasolabial folding, the jowling.
It's the gravity
under
effect,
eye
yeah.
bags.
I feel like it's all just going to hell, you know? Going down.
Yes. Well, we want to reverse
Right.
that entire process, but do it naturally. That's what it's all about, is the whole having the look of like you have golf balls in your cheeks and the hot dog lips. No offense to anybody out there with hot dog lips.
That's your choice.
That's your choice. But that look is kind of going away,
Yeah.
and the more natural, graceful aging, and that's what we do, is we want to do everything we can to naturally reverse the aging in facial aesthetics, and then we can fine tune with injections.
Right.
But this whole movement of leading with neurotoxins and filler is the wrong way to do things. Not saying they don't have a place, but we want to make sure we're addressing the structure, the foundation, then getting into the collagen and elastin, and then the tone and the texture.
You build it out, people.
Inside out.
You build it out. Okay, let's dive into the results. This is my favorite part.
Yes.
Don't you guys love the results with your technologies? They're unlike anywhere else. They're pretty amazing. I want to start with the Aria Lift.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Tell us about that.
Well, it's super unique because we're actually starting from the base, from that foundation, and then we work out. Where almost everything in facial aesthetics has been the opposite. It's working from the outside in. So what we want to do is build that structure, build that foundation. So we're actually addressing the root structural causes. Like eye bags are caused because your muscle breaks down.
Yeah.
Right? So we want to make sure that we are addressing that in the most functional and natural way possible. And then we work ourselves out, because then we just bring that vibrance back to your
Which is what people sort of notice too.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Unbelievable.
When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look good. It all plays together.
It really does.
And aesthetics is equally as part of wellness as some other things, because if you're not confident in yourself, it mentally can affect the rest of your life. So it's this whole thing. That's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Is it all plays together.
You know when you're in like a cute outfit and you got your hair looking good and you walk a different way? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. That's how I feel when I feel like, you know, you kind of strut. That's what you're looking for.
The confidence. That's what we're.
The
we want to bring
confidence.
that back. So
That's
if you're
right.
looking in the mirror and you're like, "Oh my gosh, what has happened to my face?"
Right.
You are not alone. You are not alone. This happens.
This is what happens in
However,
life.
there's natural ways to do that where you don't have to worry about getting surgery or things like that in many cases. So
Which
we
is
want to.
huge.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And sometimes surgery is necessary. Don't get me wrong. We refer out all the time, but it's okay. What are we trying to accomplish? Let's put together that comprehensive plan so we're addressing what we really need to do to show you the results that you're looking for.
The results? Okay, explain the stages for me. I'm going, hey Nick, I want an Aria lift.
Yeah.
What's elevator stage 1?
So elevator stage 1 is it's like building a house.
Okay.
The most important piece is we want to have that foundation poured properly.
Got it.
The next step is we want to have the walls and everything framed.
Got it.
That's your muscle and your connective tissue.
Spaz.
Yes, SMAS.
Smaz. Okay.
I could be a bit of a spaz.
Yes, of
but
course.
no, it's called your SMAS.
Okay.
So we are able to actually tighten and see more lifting with M-Face than anything before, but now we can actually address eye bags.
That's amazing.
In a natural, functional way with zero pain, zero downtime, zero negative side effects, because we're actually rebuilding the muscle tone underneath the eye, which pushes those fat pads
Look at that.
back.
I mean, that is drastic. I mean,
it's drastic.
That's huge.
And we do full resurfacing. We have the Neogen PSR. We have.
Look at that.
We do a whole lot of things. And obviously
Unbelievable.
everybody's a little bit different, but we want to engage and turn the clock back.
Yeah. And
the
it
way
looks
that it's
so
needs.
natural. It just doesn't look like that cat woman, which again, if that's your look, we're fine. Hey,
you do
groovy.
you.
You do you. You do you. Okay, so thank you, Nick. You can always call his team at ARIA Integrative Health. I want you to ask about the ARIA Lift, those different stages, and the brand new M-Face for eyes, if that's your biggest issue right there. You can enjoy up to 30% off. Call now at 303-953-2899 or see more online at ariaintegrativehealth.com. Good stuff, Nick. When we come back, Colorado's Poet Laureate is here to share a poem and inspiration to get you writing your own story. Stay with us. Okay, I just ate at this amazing restaurant with the coolest concept. Y'all have to check out Dumplin with an apostrophe, okay, in the Highlands. With us, we have the GM, Tyler Bray, who, of course, I ran up to say, I got to get you on the show, and the chef and owner of the Bonanno concept himself, Frank Bonanno. Sir.
Oh, thank you so much.
There should be a round of applause for you, sir.
Please.
Okay, so Tyler, starting with you, I tracked you down in that restaurant. I wanted you to come on the show. I just ate here for the first time. Tell us about Dumplin and the concept.
Dumplin is a really, really cool spot. We've really cultivated a very cool vibe in there. It's on the corner of 32nd and Lowell there in Highlands Park Square. And we're really lucky to be in a great neighborhood there right next to Mondovino. And yeah, I mean, I can let Frank speak more to it, but Italian-Japanese fusion and his playful little take on dumplings.
So tell me, Frank, what inspired you to do this? It's Japanese mixed with Italian?
So it's Japanese mixed with Italian. So at our restaurant, Luca,
Yes.
we do all these play dates where we do Brazilian, Italian, and everything. The first one we ever did was idamishi, which is a culmination of Italian and Japanese. And I've always thought that was such a great
loved that
fusion
one.
of food, and that was 4 years ago. So as we were moving on, we had our space with Salt and Grinder,
Yep.
and we have one at the airport, so it was like, we should do something else here. And I really love the idea of Italian and Japanese. I mean, because what is a dumpling other than a ravioli, right?
Right.
And the flavors of Japan and Italy are so similar, with chilies, not a lot of spice, a lot of simple ingredients.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Just very straightforward, like a good cacio e pepe pasta. Nothing better than a ramen with just a poached egg and a really good miso broth.
So true.
Very similar, and it's just something I love doing. So, and it's something we do a lot of Japanese at Mizuna.
Yes.
So it's really like a mesh of Mizuna and Luca together, coming together to be an idamishi dinner at Luca.
It started that moment, and now it's here. Tell us what you're making here. It smells delicious. I had the shrimp scampi dumpling.
Okay.
And I was like, what a clever mix this was. Tell us what you're making here.
So these are our andouille dumplings. So andouille is a fermented Calabrian sausage, basically.
Whoa.
So you can eat it raw, but we put it into the dumplings.
Yes. That's what I love about is the brave and bold flavor. I was just blown away. And it sort of explodes in your mouth, you know?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
These should pop because there's a lot of fat.
Excuse you about, don't talk to me that way. I'm just kidding.
No kidney stones.
No
from this.
kidney stones, that's right.
But there's like, so what you're hoping is when the sausage cooks out, it renders and some of the fat from the sausage like will burst when you eat it. So at Dumplin, we do a lot of different sauces.
Yeah,
So
that
we
was my
have
favorite.
Our house-made char siu from Michael at Mizuna. Then we have just a simple barrel-aged soy sauce, Calabrian chili. But I've been working with Leopold Brothers to come up with some vinegars, because typically you would dip some dumplings in black vinegar.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so we usually use balsamic vinegar in the restaurant, but I think when you do a little combination of this peach vinegar that he's making,
Yeah.
that is incredible. 100 peaches in each bottle.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I think the flavor from the peaches with the spicy sausage go really well together.
That's so innovative. Should I take it?
Yeah.
Should I try it?
You
Should.
should.
I use?
You wanna?
Should I hand it? I don't want to be rude.
I would hand it.
You would hand it? Okay,
I
I'm
would
doing it.
totally.
You wouldn't mind?
Oh,
I'm
I'd be.
talking to Mr.
I'm insulted if
Mr.
you
Restaurant
don't.
himself. Okay, I'm going to take this one. What do you
Okay.
think?
I think that's a good start.
Oh, I got the peaches.
It just comes through right at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and the spicy sausage inside.
Oh, it bursts. That is beautiful. That is beautiful, you guys.
We've reached our
This is
goal.
amazing. Perfecto.
Oh,
Okay, you are a legend here. I'm sorry to speak with my mouth open, but for your restaurant group, and have some of my favorite restaurants on there. I want to know what inspires you, because you must have a crazy brain in there. The restaurants are so diverse.
yeah. I mean, it's funny when we opened up Vesper. You mentioned Vesper.
That was where we all went to eat after DBL.
So Vesper's food, we always knew we wanted to take that. It was in between, and we wanted to do a real neighborhood bar. And I was obsessed with pitas.
Oh, you were having a pita moment.
I was having a major pita moment.
Got it.
And decided that we should do like Middle Eastern food because I loved pitas. And so it seemed healthier.
Yeah.
Right? Like going to a bar to get something, but having hummus and falafel and gyros. Just, I was really into it when we opened all those years ago. And so I go through that with food. Japanese has always been such a passion of mine since opening. I mean, Mizuna is named after an Asian green. So we've always had that influence. And so when the opportunity presented itself to do the Itamishi dinner at Luca, I was like thrilled.
You were happy.
And it just started really getting me going on things that we could do. And like, I can't do this dumpling at Luca or Mizuna really, but we needed to open a restaurant. And
Yeah.
we wanted to curate and see what it could be. I mean, it's a very small.
It
You've been
is.
there. It's 24
But it
seats.
feels comfy and cozy, which I love. I mean,
So
it's amazing.
It's just about for me exploring things and combinations of things, and I'm very lucky I get to do that a lot at Mizuna.
Yeah.
But this gives me an opportunity to really marry two cuisines I love a lot.
Well, we're lucky to have Dumplin as well. Let me ask you something. Something's happening March 31st. Can you give us a little teaser? What is that?
So that's going to be circling right back to what Frank was just talking about. That's going to be our Itamishi over at Luca. That'll be combination of the Japanese and Italian cuisine.
Nice. And do you need reservations? You
Certainly.
get them now.
Yes.
Get them now. Everybody get them now, March 31st. Okay. So to all my viewers who are bored with Meatloaf Monday, nothing wrong with meatloaf, by the way. Okay? Who doesn't love
If I
meatloaf?
could make a meatloaf dumpling, I
Oh,
would.
call it the Tory. Try out Dumplin in the Highlands, and your taste buds will thank you. And then you can thank me for recommending it, and I can thank Frank and Dumplin for existing, and then we can all be thanked, and we can all be full of dumplings. And that's the goal of life. Thank you guys for being here.
Oh, thanks so
It was
much.
delicious. I'm going to finish this. If you
Should
don't-
I make you your dessert?
If you could, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Lego fans, as you make this, I'm going to go. Lego fans, get ready. There's a new exhibit at the Denver the Denver Museum of Nature and Science that's all about the tiny bricks. Kelly takes us inside next week on Coco. And it's the summer of the RV when Colorado and Company returns, why more people are hitting the road than ever and skipping those airports. Today is your chance to discover the poet inside of you and find a community of people who are there to listen and to help you grow in the way you express yourself through poetry. I love poetry, and I'm so honored because with me is Beth Franklin, president of the Colorado's Poets Center. Hello, Beth.
Hello.
Good to see you. Also, we are beyond honored to have Colorado's 2627 Poet Laureate, Crisosto Apache. I am beyond honored to have you here. Thank you.
I'm great to be here.
Okay, I'm very happy, good. I wanted to ask you how there's a certain story you were telling me off camera about how you found out that you were the laureate.
Yeah, so I was sitting at my table just grading papers, and all of a sudden I saw the phone, and it had Jared Polis on there. Didn't think much about it because I thought it was a political call asking for money.
And you're like, I'm not answering that.
Yeah, so I ignored it. A couple hours later after dinner, I said, well, I'm gonna check my voicemail. So I checked it, and sure enough, there was that message, and I thought it was a joke.
So twice you almost missed it.
Right, so then a couple more hours went past, and I said, well, maybe I should take this seriously and go listen to that again. And I was quite surprised.
Well, congratulations, and Mazel Tov. It's a huge honor, honestly. Beth, talk to us about the Colorado Poets Center. What is it?
It's a poetry nonprofit founded 20 years ago by my late husband, the poet Robert W. King, and myself, but he ran it until he passed.
I'm so
and
sorry.
Now I converted it into a nonprofit, and it's essentially a directory of 315 Colorado poets. Crisosto is one of our poets on the site. And for each poet, there's biographical information, examples of poems or links to readings they've done, links to their website, their publications. And it's from poets throughout the state of Colorado.
Fabulous. That's a fabulous, amazing conglomeration of beautiful souls, I assume. What kind of things do you do to support new people to poetry? Because, you know, Gen Z, let's get to it, you know?
Well, first of all, you can be a published poet, like published in writing, or a spoken word poet, which is a more
popular.
appealing to younger people. I do provide poets to schools if they want. Like this year, we did a 4th grade, I found a poet to appear in a 4th grade in Denver Public Schools and a poet for a 5th grade in Greeley Public Schools. So we do that. We also sponsor readings, and the readings have an open mic, like monthly. I have a reading at the Boulder Bookstore. Always an open mic.
Is that right?
And just to sign up, so anybody can come and read, and we have poets of all ages who read during that open mic.
That's fabulous.
We also have a newsletter, and in that newsletter, we promote events, poetry events, workshops that are free. There's just so much poetry going on in the state.
What a great resource. What an amazing resource. Okay, Crisosto, as well as being a poet laureate, you have written 3 poetry books, and you're associate professor of English and creative writing. My God, what else do you do? In your opinion, what can people learn through reading and writing poetry?
One of the things I emphasize about poetry is that if you are interested in writing poetry, it does help elaborate and build your vocabulary. It also builds your voice so that you feel more confident in what it is that you want to express.
I told these guys before, I wrote one really good poem, and other poet, but there's one really good one, and it spoke to my voice, and I'm still very proud of it. Can you share how you were introduced to poetry?
Yes, back in 1989, when I first entered college, I went in as a painter, and later, my first semester, I switched my major to creative writing. And it was my first professor of poetry that convinced me to change my major to creative writing. And that's the current U.S. Poet Laureate, Arthur Z.
Oh, wow.
So he was my first introduction to poetry.
Oh my God, what an introduction.
Yes.
And what a beautiful thing that teachers do when they guide you in that right way. Beth, you say poetry is democratic. I wanted to hear what you meant by that.
First of all, every culture, every group of human beings has had poetry, has had lyrical language, chants, songs. And so
even the earliest, you're absolutely right.
Yes, and in fact, some researchers say poetry and lyrical uses of language came before actually communicative uses of language. So, and through poetry, just what like Crisosto was saying, we learn about each other because you have to write about what you know, and in that way of listening to people, we can learn about everything and everyone and all aspects of life.
I bet your husband would be very proud of what's happening. I really do. Okay, I need to hear one of your poems, and I'm going to send you guys over to the stage while I do that, and please be careful as you walk over there, sir. I'm going to give our viewers some information, so go ahead and walk over. I'm going to give them some information. You can become a poet. Yes, you can. And you can be part of a new and creative writing community. For more information about upcoming poetry workshops, monthly poetry readings, and events, I want you to go to Colorado Poets Center.org. This is a lovely resource again. Beth, thank you for having this. Here we are, Colorado Poet Laureate Crisosto, Apache's poem titled "There Is Light There" has been selected to be included in the National Time Capsule. Oh my word. So you can say you saw it read aloud by the author right here on Colorado and Company. This is Crisosto Apache with There Is Light There. Enjoy.
There is light there. The ray is a bringer inside the beginnings of possibility and a harvester of colors. In its absence, there is always presence peering through a fluttering curtain, shedding its color from the body into the shadow, casting the everlasting shade upon the rusty canyon walls and cascade of skyscrapers. The ever-transitioning gray shade and enveloping indigo is what is left of each given possibility. The possibility is to see others and even ourselves casting the long, desperate shadows, bending into scrupulous forms, reaching for embrace. Bodies are lost in the tangibility of the darkness. Maybe that is the reason why limbs reach. There is light there. From umbra to penumbra, drawing specific definitions of what is forming because of the concurrent illumination. The movements in each are because the sun rotates, the moon rotates, the stars taking a millennium to cast that momentary gleam so the surging energy can begin in the dances, the songs, the incantations, a syzygy. The weight of reflections reminds me the eye to seek what is behind the mind so a spark can be lit. A dawn for what can be expected in a yucca basket or a buckskin pouch, summoning the blessings and gazing through all awaiting pollens of bodies. Finally, sprouting from seed and from water, where all stems travel through the soil, in an illumination bursting through germination, which is also a dangerous determination. So many cannot be cared for, so many cannot be recognized, never finding their opposite. Water will flow and fall, fauna will season and cycle. Feet will tread and dance into the night and welcome the morning. There is an absence of opposites as long as the search for each other never ceases. There is light there.
Bravo. This summer is shaping up to be one of the most historic travel seasons in decades, with major events like the World Cup, America's 250th celebrations, and the Route 66 Centennial. Travelers will be hitting the road in big numbers. And earlier, Kelly spoke with the founder of Outdoorsy. Check it out.
Hi, Jennifer. I'm so excited to be talking to you. Let's get right into it. Why is this summer the summer of the RV?
I mean, this is definitely the summer of the RV and road trip. There's so many exciting events planned all across the country. So you have the America 250 celebrations. Route 66, one of the most epic road trips in the country, is celebrating its 100th anniversary. The World Cup games, there's so many host cities all across the U.S. I think you guys in Colorado are celebrating your 150th anniversary. So this is definitely the year to get out there and have some fun. And I think an RV rental or a road trip is the way to do it. Definitely a better option than the standard hotel and airfare. It just offers so many more benefits. It's cheaper, it's more convenient, and it's definitely a lot more fun.
Oh, that's so fun. I want to go in an RV. Okay, tell me a little bit more about what Outdoorsy is doing to celebrate our country's 250th anniversary.
Yep, this is the year. Everybody is getting super excited. So our team is launching a couple special promotions. One we're really proud about, and that is offering a full summer-long promotion for all of our veterans and service members out there. We like to call them American heroes, and we're offering 20% off on RV rentals. So really big discount that's applied at checkout when you rent an RV on outdoorsy.com. And this applies to all military, active or retired. It also applies to all police, all firefighters, and all EMS teams. So really proud of that. And we want to know, we want veterans and service members to know that we appreciate their service and we're recognizing them. And then we're going to weave in a really fun summer promotion. It's called Freedom Fridays, and it starts in April. Super easy to enter. It's a contest where anybody can enter to win a 5-night RV rental vacation for just $17.76. So that's our fun, cheeky little way to recognize America's 250th year anniversary of our independence. And we're going to be announcing the winners every single week on Fridays.
Oh, That's so exciting. I'll be entering myself, I think. Okay, let's say our viewers are ready to hit the road. They're ready to take an RV trip. What are your top tips for them if they've never done it before?
Well, top tip for this year is book sooner rather than later. So start figuring out what kind of a rig you want and what RV park or campground or event you want to go to, and book a stay. Those are the two things. Get ahead of all the crowds. It's coming fast. Everybody wants to get outside this year. And then when you then move down into some of the basics of like a good RV trip, I would say involve your family or friends. Involve the people that are on the trip. The best part of RV rentals and this kind of travel is like getting excited about where you're going to go, what you're going to do. You can start planning whether or not there are Great Lakes or mountain hikes or just like local community events that you can plan early to attend. It makes the trip get started way earlier than the first day you take off. And then I always talk about the 2-2-2 rule. And so for anybody that isn't a veteran at RV camping or RV travel or road trips, it's really simple. Don't travel more than 200 miles on day one. Get to your destination by 2 p.m. on the first day and stay out there for at least 2 days. If you do those 3 things, you're guaranteed to like max out all of the relaxation vibes. You have a lot of fun and it's easy to pull off.
Ah, this is so exciting. Okay, let's talk about driving an RV or a camper. What if someone's a little intimidated about that?
Yeah, you know, I hear that because sometimes people ask me if you need a special driver's license, and you don't. No special driver's license required. I think also people are not as familiar with the range of types of RVs that you can rent.
Yeah.
You could rent a really simple like Class B. It's like it's a camper van, and it's about as easy as driving a minivan or an SUV. Truck campers or those overland vehicles, they're also small and compact, so they feel a lot like driving a pickup. You've got trailers that are small or larger, and motorhomes. So there's a wide range of vehicles that you can drive. You could pick ones that are really easy to drive. We also have a really cool program, which is Outdoorsy Delivers. So we bring the RV or the camper, we set it up for you, and we're pretty much bringing everything to you. So you don't even have to worry about driving if that's something you don't want to tackle on your first trip.
That's amazing. Okay, let's say we're ready to book. Where do we go, Jennifer, for more information?
Very easy. Come and visit us over at outdoorsy.com. You'll immediately see some really simple filters and questions that help you get all of the best RV rental listings, so you could pick and choose the vehicles that you like, talk to your kids about it or your friends. And while you're there, there's tons of helpful information like sample itineraries. We're highlighting a lot of the events around World Cup and also America 250 celebrations. So lots of information on outdoorsy.com. We make it really easy for you to find an RV.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Jennifer. We are so excited. We'll see you on the road.
See you on the road.
If you want to hit the road in style this summer, you can rent a van, RV, or camper by going to outdoorsy.com. There's a uniquely brave group who come to help during crisis or disaster. They're called Team Rubicon. And we had the chance to talk with Marine Corps veteran and 17-time Team Rubicon deployment leader, Larissa Murray.
I am so excited to be talking to you today. You are a true badass. So what led you from the Marine Corps to your role on Team Rubicon?
Thanks, Kelly. After my time in the Marine Corps, I actually went back to school for a couple of years. I got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree, but I was really missing that sense of community and continued service after the military. So a week after I got my master's degree, I went on my first Team Rubicon deployment, and that was to Moore, Oklahoma, following some devastating tornadoes that tore through that area. And I could see that the organization was really drawing on the best of the military elements, you know, that sense of camaraderie and continued service. And so I got hooked right away and got more involved, became an instructor. And after several years, I deployed down to Houston, Texas. And I just decided I wanted to devote all of my time to this mission and to this organization. And I was lucky enough to come onto the operations staff in 2019.
Wow. Okay. So as a disaster response operation leader, which again, so cool, what are the first things you do when you're called?
So the first thing that we do is we kind of assess the situation on the ground. We'll work with local agencies to really understand what that need is. And then we determine, are those unmet needs that we can address? And if we can, then we put the all call out to our volunteers. We say, hey, who wants to go help this community? And we try to get boots on the ground as quick as possible.
What was your most recent deployment?
Most recently, I went out to Alaska this past fall following Typhoon Halong. And we went out to Bethel, Alaska, and some of the surrounding villages there, which are hundreds of miles off the road system up there. So logistics are certainly a challenge. But we worked with many partnering agencies to use small aircraft and like helicopters to get our gear and our people out to these locations. So in Bethel, Alaska and Anchorage, Alaska, we really focused on donations management, but we were also able to get out to some of the smaller villages like Tuntatuliak, which is located on a floating frozen tundra. And we were able to help the community there remove wet insulation from underneath their houses to dry out their houses. And then we reinstalled dry insulation before the onset of winter up there.
You are absolutely incredible. Okay, bring us into a disaster situation. What are you doing in those moments to make sure you're an effective leader for your team?
Yeah, so once we're on the ground, we follow the incident command structure. So we'll have one person in charge, the incident commander, but they're supported by a handful of other individuals that help them determine what work we need to do, where we need to do that work, and then they're also responsible for getting the right people and the right tools to those locations to make sure that we can get the job done.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this. What's a gray shirt and what kind of training does it take to become a gray shirt?
Yeah, so we call our volunteers gray shirts because, as you noticed, our kind of service uniform is a shirt that is gray. And you don't need any training to sign up as a volunteer. You just need to have the desire and the willingness to help and to serve. We say we are built to serve in Team Rubicon. And once you sign up, there are a number of different training opportunities that are available to you, depending on what skills you want to develop and what role you want to have within the organization. So we have training if you do want to be one of those leaders on the ground on an operation. We have training if you want to be running a chainsaw, which is very popular in Colorado. So yeah, there are a number of training opportunities depending on which way you want to go with it.
Okay, let's say our viewers are ready to get involved. They want to support Team Rubicon. What can they do?
They can go to our website, which is teamrubiconusa.org, and from there you can read about our mission, you can read about our organization, you can sign up to be a volunteer or a gray shirt, and you can also donate there.
Thank you so much for joining us today. You are doing amazing things to save lives and help people, and we are just so thankful for you.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity, Kelly. I appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.
To learn more about Team Rubicon and lend your support, go to teamrubiconusa.org.
Hey, Luigi! What's up, Mario? Behold! I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach.
All your favorite characters are back for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. You can see it on the big screen on April 1st. However, all week long, I have some Super Mario giveaways. So today you have the chance to win this really cool backpack. It's filled with a journal, a pencil pouch, and a sticker sheet. I love stickers. To enter, all you have to do is send an email to mycoco@9news.com. Put the words Mario Backpack in the subject line, and the winner will be chosen at random. Good luck. Thank you again for your company, Colorado. Portions of today's program were sponsored by the businesses listed on your screen. We're going to light this. Here we go. It is the Scorched S'mores at Dumplin. Enjoy, everybody. Ooh, that looks good. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time. Ooh, I'm going to try that with this.